with the gimmick and wins. From beginning to end, no gimmick. If I rap it, dude, I live it then. And you can't do it, so ain't no need for mimicking. I'm not innocent, I'm on a mission, so let me finish it. Matter of time before they summon the army in. I'm probably on the FBI's most wanted list. I'm probably going to hung like an ornament. I'm on a life mission to abolish all the government.
Look around and tell me what you think, because it's coming down, are you listening? Stop and look, this is what I mean. Yeah, it's going down, it's going down. Open your eyes, the state you're in is a state of mind. Freedom disguise, the state you're in is a state of mind.
What's up, what's up? How's it going, guys? Back again here on the Liberty Hour. Wanted to thank everybody who has been watching the show and been supporting it the first 5 weeks. Wanted to thank Miles for being on last week. It was a great show once again. Means a lot that a lot of you guys are coming back and listening. It's been going great. So I'm going to go ahead and start this off with what I do every week, give some NBA scores for you guys. So the Magic beat the Hawks 100-98. Raptors beat the Knicks 113-88. Porzingis looks like he's going to be out for the rest of the year after that torn ACL, which is very disappointing knowing how well of a season he was having. Into the fourth quarter, Celtics are up 75-70 over the Wizards. Hornets, Blazers are just about to tip off, and Thunder and Lakers play at 7:30. Some college basketball scores for you guys, top 25 around the country. North Carolina with the upset over Duke, 82-78. 21st ranked beat the 9th ranked Duke. Clemson, 16th ranked, beat Pittsburgh 72-48 in a blowout. We got a few games coming up. St. Mary's is going to play Loyola. Gonzaga is going to play University of the Pacific. And UCLA is going to play Arizona. All games about to tip off. With all of that being said, I wanted to go ahead and introduce my guest for the show. His name is Josh Von Pohl. We were on the golf team my freshman year. I had Brandon on a couple weeks ago, and Josh and Brandon both graduated the same year. And yeah, I've talked to him a lot on Facebook since then. I've gone golfing with him a couple times. And yeah, I just want to introduce him on in. So how you doing, Josh?
Doing pretty good.
Awesome, man. Cool. So you're the third guest I've had on that actually works at a golf course. Because I had Miles on last week, and he works at Kata. I had Brandon on, and he works at, I think it's Turkey, if I'm not getting that wrong. It's either that or Lincoln Hills. I forget which one. And I know you work at Wood Creek, and you've been doing that for a few months. So how are you liking the job so far? And yeah, just tell me a little bit about it.
Actually, I'm not even there anymore.
Oh, really? Really? When did you leave?
A couple weeks ago, I moved over to McCooney's in the Fountains.
Oh, nice. Cool. I didn't even know that. See, that's why it's good to have these interviews before we even start. But that's great. So how are you liking your new job at McCooney so far?
That's pretty dope, actually. Everyone there's hella nice. The only difficult part is probably trying to remember everything. 'Cause there's just so much stuff to do there.
Right. Well, you worked at Topgolf, with me for months on end, and then that got a little, I know, old, and then you went to Wood Creek. So what did you like about the job, and then what is it that made you want to leave?
I mean, I love being around in the golf industry in that nice ass weather every day.
Yeah,
can't go wrong with that. But yeah, I mean, I just love. I mean, I love golf, so working around it is just, it's like, doesn't even feel like work.
Yeah,
but
that's got to be cool.
Yeah, I left because they weren't giving me very many hours, and I needed better pay, so hopped on over to McCooney's.
Nice. Well, that's cool, man. Well, congratulations with the new job. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I was going to ask you, actually, do you still go out and play golf a lot? And if so, like, and I know you do whenever you can. What are your favorite places to go around the area? What are your favorite courses to go out and play whenever you have free time?
Oh, yeah, when I do have free time. I only get freaking 2 days off now, so usually try and get out those 2 days. But I played today, played out at the Ridge. That's probably my favorite golf course to play around the area.
I think I'd have to agree with you 100%. Yeah, it's a tough course, but I mean, it's fair.
Oh, beautiful up there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the back nine, honestly, is harder than the front. You have a lot of shorter par fours on the front. You have some gettable holes out there. The back nine, you can really get screwed up on a couple of the holes out there. There's a long par three. I want to say it's 14. You have to hit a really good tee shot with that bunker front right. And then the par five right before that, you have to hit a couple good shots. And there's that long par four up the hill as well. So there's some tough holes on the back side.
Yeah. Oh, I almost chipped in on that par 5.
Nice. That's awesome, man. Cool. All right. So with all that being said, I wanted to go ahead and get to the first issue here, which is huge, which will probably take us into part 2 of our show, and that's the crazy trades and everything going on with the NBA trade deadline. So this gives you a little bit of the time lapse of what happened. So early on in the morning, the first real thing that happened was Jameer Nelson, point guard who was moved last week in the Mirotic deal, has been traded from the Chicago Bulls to the Detroit Pistons for center Willie Reed. That was the first thing that happened. After that, let's see. So the Heat decided to move forward and trade Okaro White to the Atlanta Hawks for Luke Babbitt, where Babbitt used to play for the Heat, so he's going back there. And then the real trades got going, and that has to do with everything the Cavaliers did, which is the main thing we're going to talk about. So the Cavaliers basically traded half their team away. So the Cavaliers traded Isaiah Thomas, Channing Frye, and their first-round pick to the Lakers for Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance. And that was a crazy trade. That set off everything. And then right after that, not even a half hour later, the Cavs continued to reshape their roster. There was a three-team deal with the Jazz and the Kings. So Cleveland acquired Rodney Hood from the Jazz and George Hill from the Kings. And then Sacramento got Joe Johnson from the Jazz and Shumpert from the Cavs. And then Utah received Crowder and Rose, but it's looking like they're going to waive Rose, and Rose might actually end up in Minnesota. And then right after that, 5 minutes later, the Cavs traded Dwayne Wade back to the Heat for a heavily protected second-round pick, which... A second-round pick, that's it? That's just... Which we're going to get into this, but, I mean, that's a crazy, man. So Wade's going back to the Heat, and that'll be interesting because he'll probably start for them. They're going to need him to start. Pelicans traded Dante Cunningham to the Knicks in exchange for Rashad Vaughn. Trailblazers traded Noah Vonleh to the Bulls, along with some cash for the rights to Milovan Rakovic. Let's see what else happened here. There was a couple things that happened. Yeah, here we go. The Magic traded Alfred Payton to the Phoenix Suns in exchange for a second-round pick. Let's see. I think that pretty much it. The only other thing is the Celtics signed free agent center Greg Monroe, and that was the last thing of the day. So he'll probably play back up to Horford now in that 5 role. But the main thing out of the day has to do with everything the Cleveland Cavaliers did. So right now the Cavs are 3rd in the East, but they're not that far ahead of Miami, who's 7th. They're only a couple of games ahead of them. So it's all packed up there. And I wanted to go ahead and start by asking you this question, Josh. What are your thoughts on everything that the Cavs did today? Do you think they got better with all these trades? Do you think they got worse? And why?
Well, I'm going to be honest, I'm not much of a basketball fan. I mean, I do support the Kings when I can, but, they haven't been good in a while.
Yeah.
But, I mean, trading half their team, I've just never seen that before, and, any team do that before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's crazy because you got 3, 4, 5, 6 players. They're gone, and then you only got 4 or 5 players. You only got 4 players out of that, so they're going to obviously bring a couple people up from their G League to play. But with everything that's going on right now with Cleveland, knowing that Kevin Love is out, he's got an injury. I don't know about this, man, because George Hill's a good point guard, and it'll be interesting to see how he fits in that system. And I think Rodney Hood is good as well. But I don't know, man. I don't think Clarkson or Nance are worth trading away IT. You're basically trading away Kyrie Irving if you think about it, because they traded Kyrie for Isaiah in the beginning of the season. And so I don't think the Cavs got better with this at all. I think they actually got worse. If I had to say who I think won these trades, it would probably be Sacramento. I think Joe Johnson's going to be big for them. I think Shumpert will provide a veteran influence there as well, because they also got a 2020 second-round pick. Utah, if they keep D Rose and they manage to fit him into the system there, they could definitely be successful, but it doesn't even look like they're going to keep Rose. The Lakers, however, getting rid of Clarkson and Nance, do have money to free up a spot for a max contract in the offseason, so that'll be interesting to see how that works, and if they keep Julius Randle at the end of the offseason. I don't know, though, man. I think the Cavs are going to end up third at best in the East. I mean, they could honestly fall as far as 6 as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Over all the teams, I think the Heat definitely won as well. Wade and Babbitt. Babbitt, you got a 3-point shooter. Wade, he's getting old, but you still got a scorer in him. And they're, in the playoff hunt right now. I think it'll be really interesting to see how it all plays out, but I think the Cavs lost this trade, personally.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But with all of that being... Did you want to add anything on?
I was about to say LeBron, though, with that game winner the other night. I saw that.
Yeah, that was crazy. That Timberwolves Cavs game that went into overtime. I mean, I don't understand why they didn't put 2 players on LeBron there. It seemed like he had a pretty relatively easy fadeaway shot to win it. And the shot Butler took before that was pretty heavily contested, and that was pretty just not smart in my opinion. And so, honestly, the Timberwolves deserve to lose that game. But I don't know how well the Cavs are going to be able to play with the roster they have, honestly, because LeBron's not going to be able to just carry him himself. But
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, with all of that being said, I wanted to go ahead and get into the next issue here, which has to do with the NFL. And there's a few crazy things that happened here. So the first thing, the Chiefs cut Darrelle Revis, and that is big because he has been cornerback on their team for quite some time. And also, the biggest thing of the day, Jimmy franchise! As a Niner fan, I could not be happier. So the Niners signed Jimmy Garoppolo to a 5-year, $137 million deal.
I knew in that money.
That's the biggest contract deal ever in NFL history. It beats Carr, it beats Luck, it beats Breeze, and I forget. Oh, Stafford. It beats Stafford as well. It is insane. I mean, I think that's a crazy amount to spend, but knowing his worth and how well he seemed to bring the Niners back from virtual hellhole at the end of last season, I think it's worth it.
I mean, the Niners weren't even bad. They were just barely losing the games. They had 3 or 4 games going to OT.
4 or 5 that were 5-point games or less.
Yeah. I mean, they were there. They just needed Jimmy. And then as soon as he got there, boom, 6-0.
I know, it's crazy. I can't believe that. So, yeah, Garoppolo is going to get $137 million over 5 years. I haven't read how much he actually has confirmed, that he's going to get for sure. But it's just crazy to me. I think that the Niners still need to re-sign Carlos Hyde, and they still need to probably bring in a couple of guys to help out Garoppolo. But, I mean, that's a crazy signing. The one thing I've noticed people talking about a lot is it too much money that they are spending, because they could get other players with that. They could re-sign other players and stuff on their defense. And I want to get your thoughts on that in here in a second, but I'm going to go ahead and end part 1 right here of our podcast. We're going to get right back with part 2.
All right.